Good morning.
Hey, Seattle.
As always, it's your girls, Jasmine and Shantae.
Welcome to another Thursday morning and another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.
Hey, good morning and happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
Yes.
It's your girl, Jazz and
Shantae.
And we are here to bring you some joy on this wonderful gray Thursday morning. It's very Seattle today. I will say that. It's very Seattle today.
I feel like it's been weirdly Seattle all week. It's been like a little gray, and then by the end of the day, it's sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
We got spoiled for the last week and a half, and then we got humbled, and we reminded that, hey, this is in fact the rainy city.
Absolutely.
Our lawns need it.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, ours did not need any type of watering of the sort. We actually had to mow our lawn this past weekend.
Ooh. Do you have a real lawnmower, like an actual gas one, or do you have the new and improved electric version?
It's a gas one, but it's also borrowed. It's not ours.
Which we promptly gave back right after we were done with it.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
They didn't know it was missing. Just kidding,
And I didn't damage it.
right.
She did try to mow a boulder, though.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, wait. In like female language, boulder means how big is this rock?
It was pretty big.
Okay. Can we get another
Yeah.
baseball, softball, larger than that?
Softball.
So you did some pretty good damage.
and
then.
a half.
Could've.
softball and a
It
half,
didn't-
yeah.
It didn't hurt it.
No, it was fine. Yeah, it kept trucking after that.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I was surprised.
I heard it, and then I heard it stop, and then I heard her yell, and I was like, yeah. What is that?
That's gonna leave
I
a
was
mark.
like, what's happening here? Why is it not pushing anymore? And all of a sudden it's just like sparks and smoke, and I was like, great.
Sparks and smoke. Great day. Great day.
So now that we've actually kind of jumped into recapping our weeks, let's go ahead and recap our weeks.
Yeah.
That was Sunday.
No,
That wasn't Sunday?
that was Saturday.
Oh my god.
Because we know what previous Sunday was, right?
What was
Mother's
Sunday?
Day.
Oh my gosh. Where am I?
And
It's
today's
Groundhog.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Is it Thursday today? Today's Thursday, right? Okay. Whew.
Yeah, so Saturday we mowed the grass. She did some yard work.
I washed my car,
Yeah.
and it was like its first wash in at least 6 months. I'm
think
not
a lot
even
of
gonna
people
lie.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of people did.
I mean, it was like the best time to take the opportunity to get outside. It was like 80, 90 degrees all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We also watched the Versus TV battle versus Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
How was
on
it?
Saturday.
It was
really good.
so good. It was
They're
such a
two
vibe.
amazing singers. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Learned a lot of fun facts too.
Like they're actually pretty close friends that like call each other
Cool.
and they talk about stuff and like switch songwriting advice.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I feel like every time they do a versus, everybody's streams go up and they saw like their numbers skyrocket.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing.
Erykah Badu is also amazing, and I just wanted to throw that in.
She herself is just like a whole being, entity, body of just,
Yeah.
I don't know. She's a celestial body.
And then, of course, Sunday was Mother's Day.
There we go. Sunday.
I went out of town to visit my mom. I guess I broke the rules and I went to Oak Harbor. Here's the
Excuse me.
thing.
cue the cough.
Yeah,
right,
and
like-
it was from Jasmine. I'm fine.
right?
Um,
Pretty funny. Yeah, wasn't supposed to go anywhere.
so I went to Oak Harbor and I'm thinking like it'll be chill. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna pick up this little veggie tray my parents asked for, and then like one more thing for my mom. I get into town. Walmart is packed. Safeway is packed. Hagen's is packed, and nobody in the store but the people who work there are wearing face masks. And I'm
Oh
just
my
kind of
gosh.
like, did they forget there's a pandemic going on? Because
Just because it's Mother's Day doesn't mean that
It's Mother's Day and-
cancels it out.
And I
Mhm.
feel like they were kind of like, it's sunny outside and we're in phase 1 of reopening. So in their minds, that means we're opening.
Yeah.
That means that we're in phase 4.
Yeah, all bets are off, like whatever.
I
Right.
was like, nobody was controlling the amount of people in the stores. I was like, this is
Yeah.
scary.
It's
And,
pretty
like,
ridiculous. Yeah.
I tried to think of like a justification for that, and I'm just like, it's a smaller populated area out there. There's not that many people out there, so they're not that busy, blah blah blah. But if they're not doing anything like we're doing out here in Seattle to try to, yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I was really
Somebody
I
needs
like
to
let
come
my
and check
sister
for
brave
them.
Walmart by herself. I was like, I'm gonna sit out here because there's already too much going on in the parking lot.
Just walk around with your arms and like, nobody get
Right.
close to me.
Just
Nobody
start
get close to
spinning.
me.
Yeah, just start like spinning.
6
right.
feet. 6 feet.
But
I'm
other
not
than
touching you. I'm not touching you.
Other than that, we did have a really good time. We chilled outside, had steak and
Nice.
crab legs for
Ooh.
dinner. So I enjoyed my time
Yeah.
seeing my family.
I've been craving some good seafood. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, surf and turf or just surf, no turf? Do you even know what
Who,
that
me?
is? Yeah. You
Surf and
said-
turf.
yeah.
I'll eat. Like, I love meat. I love seafood. I eat
So you're a fan.
any and everything, pretty much. Yes,
Right on.
absolutely. For
How
me
was
and
your
for
week?
my Mother's Day, I also went to go and visit my mother.
Mhm.
We don't live that far from her, and thank God it was a hot day because my parents have a huge backyard. And so they were kind of able to have everyone come over at different times, and we not really worry about all being cramped in like one spot and whatnot. So we made that social distancing work to the best that we could.
You stay on that
considering.
side of the yard and we'll stay
Yeah.
on this side of the yard.
That kind of thing, yeah. And we also have a tradition where on most like holidays and birthdays, if the person sees fit or wants it, but we usually go to dim sum.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's like I
Mhm.
don't for as long as I can remember, that's something that we've done. And this year was the first year we haven't been able to go, like not because it's not worked out, but because we literally can't.
Can't go.
Yeah. So I went through a headache and a half trying to order dim sum for the family so that we could get it delivered to my parents in time. I had to go through like 2 or 3 different delivery services and restaurants alone because of the fact that like at a certain point in time, a few of them just like disappeared. They were just like not available anymore. And then some places were then only available for pickup. Like, but hey, the things you do for mom.
You're the super producer, right?
Yeah, so, but I made it work. I made it happen. And it was really good. Like, it was a place that we had never tried before. And we weren't, disappointed considering the fact that it was delivery. So,
Right.
yeah, that was my weekend. That was my Mother's Day.
Cool. Yeah, mine was just kind of average. I mean, I called my mom. She and her boyfriend live in Kirkland, so we just kind of did the whole Zoom thing and said hi and had the boys over for the weekend. So we just did our little thing, and then
Oh.
I took their mom out for dinner. She had to work, so we just kind of, went over. We were out. The original plans were to go to, we'll pick up food and then go to Saltwater Park, which is over in Des Moines.
Yeah.
We drove in, and I have the pass and all that. By the way, get a pass if
I
you
know.
It is
Yeah.
it's worth it. I mean, even if you go to like 1-2 times, you've already paid for the pass, and you can go anywhere with the pass. Anyways,
Oh.
so we get down there, we drive down there. It's packed, all the cars, every spot. There's even a couple like car photo shoots being done because it's such a nice day out, right? And then we just turned around, looked at the beach, and it's like nobody cared for any distancing issues, and it's like, we're leaving. Like, it's just, it didn't make any
Absolutely.
sense. And of course, the boys were a little bit bummed. They wanted to
Of
run around the beach, but
course.
like, well, there's so many more days, and that we're gonna do it. But we just went back and just kind of hung out in the back of the truck and just had dinner that way. It was easier that way.
I mean, and that still is like a
Yeah.
memory,
Mhm. Sounds fun.
and you're outside and you're still having a good
Yep.
time. So,
One of these, it's a wash year, kind of.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know.
It's kind of
I'm
like,
really getting worried because it's looking more and more like likely that my 27th birthday will be spent in quarantine. And I know. Well, here's the thing, Benny. It's my golden birthday.
Oh.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my golden birthday.
Yeah.
So,
That's exactly how you would like. Yeah. 27. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm really bummed that like I wanted to have this big bash and have this rose gold theme, and we're probably going to do that, but in our driveway and garage. and people are just gonna drive by and be like, honk honk, boop boop, beep, celebrate you.
Right?
We're having a block party.
Yeah, the Shantae's and block party. I hope my neighbors. Well, the one neighbors, they like us, so they probably won't like be too upset. And the ones on the other side of us just don't talk to us.
You have like a straight street, or is it like a cul-de-sac type thing? Or
no, we are. It's really weird. It's like a regular residential street. It's a straight street, but we're also in like townhouses.
Oh right.
But they're standalone, if that makes sense. So there's like 4 of us in a row that are like of the same townhouse, but we're not connected like normal townhouses
Separations
are.
in between, right?
Right.
You have a little bit of lawn separating, right? Or
Yeah, just
barely.
just enough.
Barely.
That's how they design them these days.
But now that we've done our weekly recap, let's get into our icebreaker. We're gonna do something a little bit different today.
I'm excited.
We're gonna do our own version of Heads Up. It's gonna be Guess That Celebrity. Each of us has a random, set of celebrities, set of 6. We're gonna try to get the other person to guess it in under a minute.
All of them, right?
Yes.
All of them.
Hopefully.
Okay.
I say whoever can name the most wins. And let's do skips just in case it gets too hard.
I can't open my link.
The rules are no rhyming,
Oh.
the name, obviously not saying the name. And then if you want an extra challenge, don't say any other celebrity names or movie titles or, yeah.
It's getting serious. We have to
That's
think
just
this
for an extra
early. We
challenge.
have to think this early in the morning.
I know. I'm like, oh, my first list.
Okay, so do you want to kick it off, Jazz, or do you want me to?
You kick it off.
All right, good, because my first one's pretty easy.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start the timer. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car.
Oprah.
Yes. Oh, I'm the king of rock and roll.
Elvis?
You ain't nothing but
Elvis. Yeah.
I know this guy, but I have to skip it.
Oh, boo.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. I love this chick. She just did the Super Bowl. She did a pole dance.
J-Lo.
Okay, no.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes. I'll be back.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
funny.
Let me see if I can get this last one. The one that I skipped.
Go with your gut. Just spit it out there.
He's an old actor.
10 seconds.
John Wayne.
Mm-mm.
Clint Eastwood.
Keep guessing.
Really
Really attractive.
Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah!
Oh my God! Yes! Yes!
I did not know what to say for Marlon Brando.
Was he the guy that had all that face? No, that's somebody else. I'm thinking of Mickey Rourke. Who was Marlon Brando?
Oh, are you
crazy.
serious?
It's crazy because like I've recently heard him be like referenced in something I was watching.
You got this.
The Godfather!
There you go.
But here's the thing.
I have
So
to be honest, I've never seen that.
Sorry, I
movie.
did steal you on a thunder on that one. On
no,
description, but
I love that. Thank you.
except for the guy.
But
The guy
the thing with
needed to do it.
the thing with that is I just there's like James Dean, Marlon Brando, and then there's like one other person whom are like those men from that era that are just like that were extremely hot and
Bob
just
Dylan?
like who's Bob Dylan? Oh yes, I know, yes.
The
yeah,
black
men
and white
like,
did really well for them.
yeah, no, really, men like
Yeah.
that. I just remember them from history just from being really attractive rather than what they're actually should be known for. You know, like they're acting or
True.
whatever.
Yeah, she got it by me saying super attractive.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said old guy, really attractive, and I was like, we've had conversations about like which old guys we would do. So, anyways,
that was fun.
Topic for another show, I think. All right, go with that.
okay. I'm ready for my list. I've got one.
Okay. Ready?
Do you smell what I'm cooking?
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Yes. He is no longer with us.
R.I.P.
Really good at impressions.
Robin Williams.
Yes. Soccer player that's not Beckham.
Cristiano
Yes.
Ronaldo.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Lead singer of U2? Can I do that?
Bono?
Yes. Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Bono,
Iron
yeah.
Man did blackface in Tropic Thunder.
Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Nice.
And this other one, he was Scarface. Oh, can I do that? Dang. What's his name? What's the actor's name that played him? He's older now.
Al Pacino.
Yes. Yes. And the
Say
crowd
hello to my
goes
friend.
wild. Yeah.
Wow. We might have to make that harder next time
see,
because
so last night we kind of had a little like debate about this. She was like, well, maybe let's just do 3 each. And I was like, no, I think you're okay with 6. I think we're okay with 6. Because when we were just kind of like the first set of random like generator that we looked at or whatever, I was like, these, I'm sure I could get her to get. I'm sure.
I had Barack Obama on my first list and I was like,
Bless.
yeah.
I miss you, Obama, by the way.
We're going to have to play that one again, but get harder names like
Yes.
celebrities that we don't know.
Yeah. Or ones
So-
that are like we know, but that are just like more hard to
Describe.
Yeah, like Shantae and I know each other so well that like when we get people like Beyonce or Nicki Minaj, all we have to say is like, I love her. And we just know.
You just
I said that with J-Lo.
Yes.
I love her.
See? And as soon as she says that, it limits it to like 2 or 3 people. Okay. Like I already know right there. I'm like, all right, it's one of these 3.
All right. So before we get into our review of the week, let's hop into a little 2 to 3 minute break.
Mhm.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You're listening to The Way. Hey. Welcome back, you guys, to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before the break, we recapped our weeks and played a new icebreaker for you guys. That was a lot of fun. We'll
It
bring
was
that one back.
too fun.
But now we're gonna get into our review of the week. We got a couple of things we want to talk about. We're just gonna touch on some things that happened this past week that we really thought we should highlight.
Absolutely.
As always, there's a ton of new music being put out. Quarantine has really got everybody's creative juices flowing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that have we talked about the remixes?
I don't think so. I don't think we officially have. No.
They were
So
launching that Friday. the
We
last-
haven't had a chance to.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Let's go.
So, since the last time
Let's
we've
unpack
spoken,
that.
2 remixes were dropped for 2 songs that are banging. One was the Savage remix. That's Megan the Stallion featuring the queen herself. Okay.
And I found a clean one, so I'll let this one run for a little.
I just.
It was dirty though from Beyonce.
And so that's just a little taste of that. It's tight, it's dope, and you guys know as soon as the queen got on it, it went up.
Yes.
Like-
And there was no promotion for this.
Like, because there never is.
I was just scrolling on Instagram. Meg the Stallion posted some picture and it was like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, oh, Shantae, who do you hear? Who do you hear on this song?
And it's funny because I didn't even know it was the Savage remix. I just thought that maybe Beyonce.
Right.
got
She
new
was like,
music.
oh,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Yeah. And I was like, girl. And then the world just blew up.
So on the same day, same Friday, Say So by Doja Cat, they also released a remix featuring my girl, Nicki Minaj. And she said she was going to be in retirement, but that
Right.
was a lie.
We all, come on. As soon as those words came out of her mouth, we knew it was a lie.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
wasn't allowed.
She already did yikes.
And she's working on an album.
You guys are starting your little dance routine. I wanted to
I know,
spike it up for you.
Keep you focused, you wanna say so.
Time I take a break, the game be so boring.
Hey.
SC plus more.
Okay.
I know the words
Good
already.
clap, good
so.
clap.
So essentially, that one also went up. I don't know if you guys know, but Nicki Minaj's fan base is crazy.
They are insane.
I was on Twitter. I'm a big fan, okay? But like I'm not the biggest Barb fan, and I know that by Twitter because these people are like, I've been streaming it on all my devices for days on end so they can get number one. And I'm like, I seen one girl, she had like 5 iPhones and iPads.
I saw that.
And I was like,
and they all had it pulled up
and
streaming.
Streaming it. And I was like, I mean, that's love.
Right.
That's love.
Doja Cat said that if it went number one, she was going to show everybody her boobs.
Wow.
And she didn't.
That hasn't happened yet.
The internet was like, she was like, I played you guys. Come on. Like,
who's so disappointed?
Right. Like,
come on, you can do better than that, though.
Her PR team was like, you can't
do that,
yeah.
right?
RCA was like, no, we're not going to condone that.
She kind of live that kind of racy lifestyle to do that, though? Is that kind of like her MO?
Yeah,
that's a question.
Oh, is it?
I mean, like, she's weird like that. She definitely trolls a lot, but I don't know that she's like out here.
Got
it. Yeah.
But the kind of like highlight of that is that Say So remix actually hit number 1 and Savage remix hit number 2, and it was the first time in Billboard's history that 4 Black female solo artists held the 2 top seats.
I got the chills you just saying that right now.
I kind of did too.
That's cool.
It was very dope. I think that that's very cool. I feel like it kind of sends a message that stronger together. I mean, you know, they both put out a song and everybody who was on, you know, their individual song was promoting it, but there was no hate from the other side either, which is what I appreciated because everybody kind of wanted it. And like, I know a lot of people were like, oh, was Nicki talking about Beyonce in her little, in one of the bars in the song? And I was like, why would she ever be talking about Beyonce?
Nicki and Beyonce are friends. Y'all know this.
They didn't even know that each other were dropping remixes on Friday. So maybe they did, and this was all an elaborate plan.
Knowing Beyonce and how she moves, it could have been.
You know what I'm saying?
Cue Illuminati. I can't throw it up right now. But.
Yeah, so that's the first thing we're going to review. And then we're going to switch it over to one of our favorite shows.
Why You Got Me So Insecure.
So as you guys know.
Don't know that one. You're going to have to fill me in.
The Jasmine Sullivan song.
Apparently.
It's called Insecure.
Okay.
Featuring Bryson Tiller.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, Bryson Tiller is also on the track. But she just made the song for the show Insecure. I don't remember what season it was on.
I'm pretty sure it was season 1 or season 2 soundtrack. But
it's
Insecure, the show, has come back for their 4th season.
I think this is the 4th season, yeah.
And episode 4 was on Sunday.
I think it was episode 5.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing with Insecure for me. It's been really slow going. I don't even know.
It's been slow going, but also increasingly like frustrating at the same time.
And I feel like half that is the slow goingness. I'm kind of like, things aren't being resolved as quickly as I need them to be resolved.
Yeah. Season 4, episode 5.
So episode 5 dropped, and this was the episode. So essentially, we've been building to this big event that the main character, Issa Rae, had was kind of cultivating. It was the block party episode. There's been a lot of things building up to this episode, and so we wanted to talk about it. So Jazz, why don't you go ahead and kind of give like a
synopsis,
high-level summary? Yeah, we're gonna spoil the episode, so anybody listening, sorry.
Tune out right now.
Right.
Go do something else. But stay within earshot, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's the day of the block party. Molly is going back and forth on if she wants to go or not. She ultimately shows up. Issa's really concerned about there not being a good turnout. The issue that's been brewing all season long has been between Molly and Issa. Okay,
so a little bit of backstory. Molly and Issa are best friends. They've been best friends for years. But this season, you can tell that there's definitely some kind of rift in their relationship.
And it's not being talked about. Okay, so she comes to the block party. The block party is actually a really huge success. We find out that, so there's this character, Condola, who has been dating Issa's ex-boyfriend, Lawrence. Okay, but now
that's messy in and of itself.
It's very messy. Condola and Issa had a relationship and didn't know that they had been dating the same person at one point or whatever. So that got really awkward. And then Condola started acting weird, and we hadn't like seen or heard from her. She pops up at the event, and she low-key came through for Issa.
Yeah.
She provided a bunch of like interns to help her get the event going, even though she was still extremely awkward.
She ghosted Issa.
She ghosted Issa, and then we find out that her and Lawrence broke up. We don't know what happened
which
there.
is why she's been ghosting her.
But we also don't know like what happened, like why they broke up, right? So that's like a whole thing that kind of answered some questions there. So we still have more to find out about that situation. So anyways, the block party goes on, and Molly goes in and again tries to talk to Issa about the elephant in the room. Brings her some food. It's a really nice little moment. And literally right as they're about to jump into things, the main like headliner for this block party performance shows up, and Issa has to leave. So it's one of those like, ugh, you were so close kind of moments, you know. But also this whole time, I don't necessarily feel like this is the time and place for Molly to be trying to talk to Issa about this rift, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward, the whole event goes really, really well. Performance goes awesome, and they were like all dancing. Molly and Issa are having a good time dancing together, and like they're all just having a grand old time as friends. Boop, 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 pop, pop, pop.
So let's get to the tea.
I know, I'm sorry.
Just get to the tea.
At the end of it all, Molly comes and finds out that the reason why Molly had the headliner that she did was because Molly's boyfriend had pulled some strings for her to help her get this performer here. Now, in previous episode, Molly and Issa had spoken about this, and Issa asked Molly for this favor. Molly said she wasn't gonna do it. So Issa was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna
ask the next person I know to do it.
You know, she's like, I cannot let this event fail. I'm gonna do what I need to do. So Molly really felt some type of way because her boyfriend helped her best friend do something, and Molly felt like she went behind her back. Confronts her about it. They get all up in each other's face about it, calling each other fake, this and that and the other.
Basically saying everything that's been unsaid for the past like year.
And saying it with like anger and hate rather than a calm and respectful adult conversation. And all of a sudden somebody says that there's like a gun, and everybody just starts running. So that's how Issa's wonderful block party event ended. So that was just kind of trash there. But yeah, that's ultimately what happened in the episode. There's other stuff, obviously.
So how do you feel about that episode? Like, what do you think? How could that have been handled differently? How are you feeling about Molly at this point? Whose side are you on?
After that, it's like, not to say that Issa's in the right completely. I don't necessarily feel like I can say that, but I don't feel like Molly, one, should have reacted the way that she did, and two, she did not need to react the way that she did right there. That was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, I would not want to be, I feel bad for Andrew, you know, like he was still there for her and all that, but like that for me as a partner is just uncomfortable, you know, and this is just supposed to be your friend's event. Regardless of if you guys are still close or not, there was nothing that happened between you two to warrant that kind of reaction or response.
Yeah.
You know, if she had slept with Andrew, maybe. I don't care about your event at this point, but this was a professional setting and a professional event. You did not need to come at her like that. So yeah, I'm team Issa, but yeah.
I'm definitely agreeing. I'm team Issa all the way. Molly's always been like one of my favorite characters, and actually like who I see myself the most in. But like she's been ticking me off since episode 1 of this season. She's just really like on her extra high horse lately. And I just think that like Issa's actually trying to do something different. She's been working really hard for this block party, and like every step of the way Molly's just had something to say that just kind of like, I don't even really know, like I feel like you can see the progress that Issa's making in every episode, and like you see her working hard. So it's like Molly's digs feel completely unwarranted, and it kind of goes to show like how little she is involved in all of it, because she's like, oh well, I'm sure it's gonna be a mess, which is why she didn't want Andy, her boyfriend, to get involved. But like Issa was trying to run something that was gonna be like really great, and it ended up being really great, and the only reason that it turned out sour was because Molly's got terrible timing.
Well, and to play devil's advocate here, Issa has also been throwing digs and like little shade at Molly all season about her relationship and whatnot, because Molly has never had a successful relationship, and any time she's gotten close, she's pushed it away or messed it up somehow. Go ahead. And so Issa, like low key, and this goes into like how Molly's not been involved with Issa stuff. Issa's not necessarily been checking on Molly's relationship because she feels like she doesn't need to, because, oh, well, this is going to be another wave. This is going to be another phase, or, you know, like, why do I need to get involved when I know that this isn't going to last? But Molly's never said, hey, like, it bothers me that you're saying this because I do like Andrew. I am serious about him, and yada, yada, yada.
Right. I feel like in those situations, I don't not agree with Issa. Like, I'm not like, you know, like I get what you're saying, because it's like, you definitely don't have to be taking like low shots at your friend. But at the same time, Molly's always throwing shots. Like, you're not going to call me messy when you're just as messy. Like, you were sleeping with an entire married man last season. And then like, big whoop. Like,
my eyes got all big.
And she was sleeping with a married man who they'd known for years. Everybody was best friends with him. They were best friends with his wife. She was pregnant. It was crazy. And now you want to sit here and look at Issa like, we all do dirt.
Like you're holier than thou.
You're not. And you don't have it all figured out. And yeah, you guys are at different points in your life, and you're changing and evolving. But I don't really like how Molly is moving right now.
It wasn't, for me, with Molly's growth and whatnot, I feel like that was a setback.
Absolutely.
That was not a mature adult thing to do.
Absolutely. Because I do see her growing in a lot of ways, like in her career and, you know, in relationships. Like I'm rooting for this whole Andy relationship.
Same.
But like, she's got to treat Issa better. And I feel like she's been treating Issa like this for a while. Like, I feel like this isn't really new news. It's just more apparent.
Yeah. So they need to talk. They really need to talk it out. But if I were Issa, I would definitely take some time before talking, because like, if that didn't happen, then nobody would have ran like that and claimed that there was like a gun at her event. Like, that's, you know, people are going to remember that because of that. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember it for all the wrong reasons rather than for what it was worth. The reason why it was a mess was because of you, Molly. You caused that.
Absolutely.
So that's that on that.
That's our review of the week, and that's how we're feeling about Insecure at this point. Before we get into our hot topic, we're going to take another little 2 to 3 minute break. Stay tuned. You guys are listening to The Way. Hey. Welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay.
I was just voguing.
Throwing it back to the 90s.
Yes.
You guys were like
Madonna.
1, 2, maybe 3, right?
I was in 93, so the oldest I got in the 90s was 7.
Wow.
Before the break, we did our review of the week, and we talked about the Say So remix, Savage remix, and Insecure episode 5. You should check all of those out if you haven't.
Absolutely.
And now for our hot topic, we're going to get into something a little bit more serious, because there's a lot of serious stuff going on out there in the world.
Indeed.
So basically, we wanted to just talk about something because it's near and dear to our heart, but it's really hard to talk about. And so I think I'm just going to try and launch into it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the unprecedented killing of unarmed Black people, Black men and women
in America,
in just the past like 2 months alone. A lot of this stuff has happened in like a couple months back, but a lot of it's has been brought to light within the past week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kick it off with, we're just gonna tell you guys some facts and tell you different I guess, different stories, summaries of situations that are happening, because we think it's important that as many people hear about this as possible.
Yes.
Because it's a problem.
And hopefully do your own part in your research and your own, talk to your own family and maybe children about what's going on if you can, in a way that they can understand it as well. So
we definitely need to be having a larger conversation around this at this point. One, we have way too many people on this list for the topic that we're even talking about. So the first person who really kind of brought all of this to the forefront is Ahmaud Arbery, who was an African-American male who lived in Georgia, Glenn County. He was only 25 years old, running in his neighborhood during quarantine back in February 23rd.
Yeah, February. Mm-hmm.
February 23rd, when two men, Travis and Greg McMichael, their father and son, and actually the father used to be a Glenn County police officer, they basically hunted the man down and shot and killed him. They stated that they shot him because they were in pursuit of...
they were making a citizen's arrest
for a burglary that had happened in their neighborhood.
Yeah, citizen's arrest, and then you shoot somebody. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot and kill.
Jeez.
So what we've come to find out, one, is that the whole burglary is fake.
Cover up.
There wasn't a burglary. They made that up to cover their butts. Mm-hmm. We've also found out that this has already been passed through 3 attorneys.
Yes, that part.
2 recused themselves because they were too close to the suspects.
And
the
one of
the McMichaels.
And one of the 2 actually said that they didn't believe there were any grounds for arrest after viewing the video.
And that was the first DA
to recuse themselves.
So now, okay, so after like 2 district attorneys, it went to Tom Durden, which he sat on it for a little while. And that's when, I think it was May 5th, the video came out and was made public.
Viral.
And that's when he decided, I'm going to take this case. Well, Ahmaud's family didn't really care for that. So there's actually now a 4th lawyer involved. So this is now this has been on 4 different district attorneys' desks.
It's getting a lot of hype too. It's definitely trending.
Oh, absolutely. It's been trending. Yeah.
There's a hashtag Justice for Ahmaud.
Mm-hmm. People are running with Ahmaud.
On his birthday, everybody ran 2.23 miles.
He would have turned 26 last week. And so in order to honor that,
everybody joined in and ran 2.23 miles and said hashtag I run with Ahmaud. May 7th, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation actually arrested the McMichaels for felony murder and aggravated assault charges. So that's a win in and of itself, because everybody in Glenn County was just going to let this slide.
The problem with that is that it only happened because of the public outcry, rather than because it was the right thing to do.
Well, the video surfaced, right? And it wasn't even before. Right. But have they even found out who shot that yet?
There was a 3rd gentleman involved.
There was a 3rd gentleman.
Video, right? They haven't released anything on that yet, have they?
They haven't. They're looking for that person who shot it. So,
the video, right? The video.
Yeah, who shot the video. Right. And so, like Jasmine said, there wasn't any. It happened 2 months ago. It happened in February, and we didn't find out about it until Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. Yeah. So this has been essentially, they were like, we're not going to do any about it. There's no grounds for arrest. It was just self-defense. And in Georgia state, that is actually the law. You can shoot somebody if you feel like you are threatened. I have it really hard to believe that he felt threatened by an unarmed man, though. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
And considering that it was you and your son in 2 shotguns.
When you're wielding the weapon, I don't see how. So there's that situation. I just want to say this. So this is really hard for me to talk about, and it's actually been really hard for me to read as well. One, I didn't watch the video because I don't see any I don't think it's gonna make me feel any better.
It's hard to watch.
Make me feel worse. I can already imagine. But I actually had a cousin who was murdered in 2015 in Bardstown, Kentucky, and the similarities between how it's been shuffled around and just passed to different district attorneys and people not treating the justice system the way they should. It's just crazy to see it happening again. And it's like, it's not really happening again. It's that this is always happening.
It's a continuation of this cycle of,
This is something that is always happening. And we're going to show you guys that with the additional examples that we have. So probably the same week we all saw the video of Ahmaud Arbery's murder.
Sean Reed was live on Facebook on May 6th, so the following day.
Mm-hmm.
He was involved in a high-speed police chase, and at one point, and he was on Facebook Live the whole time, and at one point got out of the vehicle after he believed that he lost them, and then you can hear him running.
You can hear him running.
And then you hear gunshots.
You hear him go, "Oh no." And then you hear like 12 gunshots. You hear the first, which I think is when he was like, "Oh no." And then you hear like 12 more. And then the police officer walks up and is of course like, "Well, where's the gun? Where's the gun? Oh no, where's the gun?" And of course they can't touch anything because they can't compromise the crime scene.
Right.
So they have to wait until somebody else gets there. But all of this is on live. So you can see people commenting like, "I think they just killed him."
Right.
They just killed him on video.
You can hear the commentary.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was crazy because I watched that video not knowing that that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it and I was like, he's probably just fooling around like on some high speed chase and gets away. And then like, when I heard the like 12 shots, I was like, this was on the internet?
Yeah.
And like, it's still on the internet. And at one point, finally, when backup comes, you hear one of the cops say, "Oh, well, I guess it's going to be a closed casket, buddy." And that's just,
it's just insensitive,
wildly inappropriate.
Yeah. And so we can't speculate too much on what happened because you hear more than you can officially like see. But it did not sound like there was any altercation.
He may have had a gun, but I don't think that he did. Namely because of the circumstances. Like he was in this high speed chase and then like he was running with his phone. There was just really no time for him to have had a gun, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know all of the circumstances. There's currently an internal affairs investigation, and the officer who shot him is on administrative leave, which I don't feel like is anything. I'm talking cuffs.
Right. It's a really unfortunate and sad situation.
And then the next person was actually here in our own backyard or
a local
own city.
Yeah, local incident.
So Sean Furr, is that how you say it?
I believe so.
I believe so.
Essentially, there was a domestic violence call that led to a chase and the fatal shooting of this 24-year-old man. This happened April 29th.
So these all happened within the
same week.
Yeah.
Of each other. And obviously this police officer is on administrative leave.
This one was especially hard to watch just because you watch the video. It's a short video, but this man was actually running from the police, holding his daughter in his arms,
his 1-year-old daughter,
and they shot him. There was no altercation. He was clearly not a threat to them, and and they kept saying that they were worried about the concern or the safety for the child, yet you shot the father in the head.
Yeah, there was no attempt to like get the kid
from him before
the shot.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. That one I definitely recommend researching and looking into, because it's very blatant that it was so unnecessary.
Yeah. And then the last one we want to touch on is Breonna Taylor. This is a woman who lives in Louisville, Kentucky. And essentially what happened was the police officers were on a no-knock search warrant. I don't know how to explain that. They had a no-knock search warrant. They entered the premises without announcing who they were. They were actually at the wrong address. They were actually 10 miles from where they needed to be.
10 miles.
They entered. They did not address who they were. Nobody knew who they were. So like, it was the woman, Breonna, and her boyfriend, and they actually thought that they were being
burglarized or broken into.
Yeah, they thought they were being robbed. So her boyfriend called 911 and then got his gun and started firing. Well, you now have 3 cops in your house. So they shot 20 rounds blindly into her room and killed her. They actually hit her like 6 to 8 times, and she was asleep in her own home, in her own bed. And I just think, and this happened on March 14th. I'm sorry. I just think that it's so much negligence. Like,
that's crazy. Yes. I know that they're trying to execute things like this while people are on lockdown and whatnot, because it's quote unquote easier to find and nail down criminals and whatnot. But this was a huge error.
Right.
Huge mistake.
Like, how 10 miles?
That's what I'm saying. How did they get so far away from the initial address? Like, obviously it was a clerical error or like, how do you not look into that first though?
So we read that what they think happened is that whoever they were looking for was using her address
for like mail
or like their, business dealings, quote unquote business dealings. And so they showed up at her house. But I just
did you not run surveillance on the place? There's so many questions.
Like, my thing is, I understand that it was a no-knock search warrant and they could just enter the premises, like they had permission to do that. But I feel like they should have said something.
But I'm with Jazz. Like, having the proper intelligence is definitely. You always see on all the shows, like, we've been watching this house for 3 or 4 days, or we've got some intel, and our informant is saying this, and we've already seen him, and
and if there's no sign of him, it's like, hello, you have no proof that he was there anyways. Are they going to say
you just started shooting?
We assume that he was held up in there, and just sick.
So yeah. We wanted to bring that up because essentially we want to say, stop killing Black people in the streets and in their homes. We won't be quiet until it stops. So that's really all I have to say. I'm honestly really fed up with it. It's really hard to see this stuff all the time. When the first one happened, it was like Ahmaud happened first, and I was like, I can't do this. It really hurts my soul.
And then the next
day, Sean Reed happened. And then the next day, we found out Sean Furr happened. And I've actually heard about Breonna Taylor because a lot of my family in Kentucky's been sharing this story. And I'm just honestly tired of it. And I'm sure most and all Black people in America are tired of it because all we're trying to do is live while being Black in America, and it's unacceptable.
With that being said, let's go ahead and head into our really quick recap before we head out for the week. Our weeks and Mother's Day.
The way.
Definitely gonna say the way.
Especially because we actually did stuff this week.
Actually, it was really nice, and I actually got the tan that I wanted and was been looking for. So yeah, I'm pretty Black.
All right for that.
Don't play with me.
Icebreaker.
Absolutely the way.
Definitely.
That was so fun.
That was so much fun. We're doing that again.
We just need to get a little more in depth, a little like more difficult questions, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
That seemed way too easy. But it was a starting point. It was a starting point.
Yeah. Review of the week. Definitely the way. Molly's behavior, not the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Insecure, not the way.
But But shouts out to Nicki, Doja, Beyonce, and Meg the Stallion. Shouts out to y'all
for making history.
That's absolutely the way.
Good tracks.
Empowered women, empowered women.
They do. Let's wear those next episode. We've got some cute shirts coming your way.
And then the senseless killing of Black people, unarmed Black
people in America. Will forever not be the way.
Yeah.
Get it together. Please stop being afraid of us. We're just trying to live our lives and just survive.
It's just, yeah. And it's just like, right now we're in quarantine and they're all happening back to back.
Y'all are getting restless and reckless.
And we've had it up. So you'll be hearing more from us about it.
Strengthen up that mental game.
Yeah,
right?
Man. We're going to talk. Yeah, we should talk more about that.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next week.
As always, thank you so much for tuning into The Way. Catch you next week, same time, same place. Follow us on Instagram at The Way Jazz and Tay and on Twitter at The Way JT. Don't be afraid to DM us if you have any questions or suggestions about the show. Until next time, bye. Peace.